What if I told you that in the past, people believed killing someone could make the rain fall, crops grow, or even stop disasters? That's right, entire empires performed human sacrifices in the hope of pleasing their gods. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, the truth is even darker. Let's dive into the shocking world of human sacrifices. Throughout history, many ancient cultures believed that human lives were the most valuable gift they could offer to their gods. One of the most famous examples is the Aztec Empire. The Aztecs believed their sun god, Huitzilopochtli, needed human blood to keep the sun moving across the sky. They thought that without these offerings, the world would fall into darkness. So in their massive pyramids, they held ceremonies where hundreds, sometimes thousands, were sacrificed. The victims' hearts were cut out while they were still alive, offered up to the gods, and their bodies thrown down the temple steps. Can you imagine standing there watching this happen? It must have been terrifying. But the Aztecs weren't the only ones. In ancient Carthage, parents believed that sacrificing their own children would please the god Baal. Archaeologists have found burial sites filled with the remains of babies and small children. Even in ancient China, emperors were buried with human sacrifices. They believed that their servants should join them in the afterlife to continue their service. When an emperor died, dozens, even hundreds of people were buried alive with him, his wives, guards, and workers. Let's not forget the ancient Druids in Europe. They're often remembered for their sacred oak trees and stone circles, but they also believed in blood offerings. Roman historians wrote that the Druids would burn prisoners alive in huge wooden structures called wicker men. The fire was seen as a way to send the victims' spirits up to the gods. What's even stranger is that in some cultures, sacrifices weren't just about punishment or fear. They were seen as a great honor. In the Inca Empire, young girls were chosen for sacrifice in a ceremony called the capacoca. These girls were treated like royalty before their death, given fine clothes and food. Then they were taken high up into the mountains, where they were left to die from the cold. It's hard to imagine how families felt watching their loved ones taken away for these rituals. For us today, it seems unthinkable. But for them, it was a way to keep their gods happy and their world safe. These stories remind us that history is full of strange and shocking beliefs. People in the past were willing to do the unthinkable, all in the hope of pleasing forces they couldn't understand. It makes you wonder, what will future generations think of the things we do today? If you liked this